Hello, it's Kate from InkStampShare. I've got a lovely little note card to show you to make today using a little bit of white embossing and some watercolouring on our note cards, and I thought it'd be a great one for our 5-minute Friday, so I'll go ahead and show you how to make it. So I've started off by taking a piece of our watercolour paper, and I have embossed in white, and I've just got a little bit left to do, so I'll show you how to do it. So I've taken a leaf stamp from our Layering Seasons, Colourful Seasons stamp set, this one, and I'm going to ink it up in the Versamark embossing ink, and I'm just going to finish off and go on to the edge here. I just wanted to show you really how it's done, and I left a little bit that I wanted to fill a gap, so I'll just do it there. Okay, so you can't really see it because it's white on white, so then I bring in the embossing powder, and I'll show you how to do that. And just sprinkle it all over the top like that. And you can't really see it at all because it is like, you know, it's the same colour. So I'll heat it up with a heat tool. Sorry, it's a little bit noisy, but I'll show you how it turns. It just melts the powder and it turns it into like a glossy white resistant finish. There you go, you can see how that's turned. You can get lots of different coloured embossing powders, and you can get clear as well. So that's there, and I'm going to watercolour in it. Now I've used the Crumb cake, I've used the Berry Burst, and they're these. And what I've done to paint those is I've squeezed the lid, and I've used this as my palette with my aqua painter, which is basically a water-filled brush. The other colour I'm using is this is called Wild Wasabi. Now I don't have that in the ink pad, so I'll show you how you can make the most of your markers. And if you don't have the ink pad but you have the marker, you can still do the watercolouring. So take one of your acrylic blocks and the thick end of your marker, because there's a thin and a thick end, and colour in on the top of your block. And then you're simply going to pick up the colour with the end of your aqua painter and paint as you normally would. Like so. And because there's white embossing there, it's like a resistant, and you really don't need to be very technical or artistic to be able to colour it in. It's brilliant actually, it's really therapeutic and you can't really go far wrong. So just lay the colour down. If you want extra water, just put a little bit through the brush. If you want a little bit more colour in different areas, you can add it and build it up and shade it, just like leaves that have fallen off the trees. There we go. I love that green. So yeah, that's a really good tip of how you can use your markers if you haven't got the right colour ink. So I finished the first layer, and I have got my note card. This is the note card size cards that Stampin' Up do. And I have got a layer of Wild Wasabi that I'm going to put on there. So I'm going to put some tombow glue on that to start with. Oops, that came out fast. It's a brand new one. And just start layering it up. I love this glue. Okay. There we go. Just pop that on there like that. And then I'm going to put my layer on. So I'm going to do the same. Plenty of glue, but not too much. You don't want it squirting out the sides. Like so. Have it any way up you like, because it doesn't really matter. Okay. I will put all the measurements of the card, the base, the layers on my blog, which is InkStampShare.ink, so you can see what they are. And also I've got two little strips here, one of more watercolour paper and one of the Wild Wasabi cardstock, and they are 1 inch by 3 inches. And I've got my banner punch, and I'm going to show you how to, actually I'm going to stamp before I cut it out. I think that would be wise. So I am going to stamp in, I think I'm going to stamp in the Wild Wasabi again, and I've got this You Make Me Smile stamp. So I'm going to use my pen again. So this is another way you can use your markers. You can colour over your stamps and stamp with them. So don't always feel you have to get the markers and the ink pads. One or the other does the job. Top tip. Just make sure it's well covered. And if you had a big stamp and it's taken a while to colour it in, by the time you finish, you worried it would dry, just huff on it, and it reactivates the ink. So I'm going to stamp onto my piece of Whisper White right at the left-hand side. You make me smile. Just like that. And then, now I'm going to use my punch because I can see where I need to punch. I wouldn't want to punch off any of the words. So just pop it in, line it up, and there you go. Just so easy to do. Makes life very simple. Okay, and then I'm going to layer them together with some dimensionals. Some of the double-sided sticky foam pads. I'm in a bit of a mess. I've been doing a lot of crafting today. So I'm just going to pop them on the back of the white one. Like that. And I am going to set my banners at a little angle. If I can get the backs off, let's move those out of the way. I'm going to set that at a bit of an angle on my green one. Okay, now before I put it down, I've got some of this crinkle seam binding ribbon in Berry Burst. Absolutely beautiful. It's really soft and lovely, and I just want a little bit to give a bit of texture to go behind my banner. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off. You'll be quite frugal and make your ribbon go quite a long way. Oops. Step to me now. Just going to cut it. I need to get a new pair of snips. They're absolutely brilliant, but I use them for paper all the time, and I need one for ribbon. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some tombow on the back of my banner, and my ribbon is going to stick to it. It'll soak through, but we won't see that. Let's make sure I get it the right way up, where I want it to go. A bit like that, so you can just see it. You can see how it soaks through, but that does not matter because we're not going to see it. Put some more on there. And then we're going to stick it down onto the card. You make me smile. It's beautiful. And then I've just got some little rhinestones. I've got a few left over. Waste not, want not. So I'm going to stick some of those on there. And then our card will be finished. Just a really quick little card you can make quite fast if you needed one. I always forget to get my paper piercer out to help me with these things. We have new rhinestones in the catalogue now. They don't come in these little strips, and they're much better actually. I'm just using it what I've got left, and I always have a bit of a struggle with these. I don't know about anyone else. I really like the new ones. It was just these tiny ones that are left. That's probably why I've left them till last. There we go. So that's it done. I really like this with this stamp set. It's beautiful, and I have also embossed on the envelope. So yeah, if you get that through the post, it's a bit prettier, isn't it, than getting a bill or something. Hope you like it. So all the measurements will be on my blog at inkstampshare.ink, and if you like any of the products used, I've used the Colourful Season stamp set, and that's on my shop at cakebolt.stampinup.net. Thanks for stopping by.